Good morning, everyone. This is a very special video for me. I had actually already done this, but I wanted to try and do it again just to try to make it a little bit clearer, a little bit nicer, maybe. With the recent passing, suicide of Robin Williams, it's really hit me pretty hard, actually. And I don't deal well with death, to start, but suicide is something that really hits home for me, especially when you get into the depression part of it all and just such and everything, because it's something that I can really relate to. So I wrote a poem and I wanted to share it with everyone, and I just hope that I can reach somebody through reading this. This is called My Message to You. So I have a message to give about the life you live. It's okay to be happy. It's okay to be down. You can wear a smile. You can wear a frown. As long as you're breathing, that's what matters to me. So don't be afraid when someone's asking, "How are you? How have you been?" That's when you start to stuttering. I can't tell them the truth. They'll think I'm strange. If I don't tell them what they want to hear, they will turn me away. But if you are lying, what good does that do? You have the right to be you. And no matter what you are feeling it. And nothing can change what you are feeling within, no matter who you talk to. If you are happy, you are happy. If you are down, you are down. So don't let anyone make you feel like you can't come around. If you feel because you are dealing with pain and sadness that you must shelter yourself from someone, then that someone was never worth it from the start. I will love you through your ups and downs. Now that is the friend you should keep around. The one you can rely on, the one you can trust. Those kinds of people and friendships are a must. Be true to yourself no matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you can't count all of your scars. You are who you are, and you feel what you feel. Never let someone break you. Does that sound like a good deal? Hang tough and stand tall, even if your shoulders slouch. Keep your chin up, and don't be afraid to be a grouch. We all have our moments. Everyone has been there. Even if you don't understand depression, please try to care. Reach out to those in need and put yourself in their shoes. We were put on this earth to help one another and to share the good news. The Lord will return someday soon. It's a shame that destruction is what he is coming back to. My heart breaks at the victims of my topic. Suicide is a monster, and our inner demons are destructive. Sometimes they win, and all who are left to mourn. But what if you could feel what that person felt, and what they were living for? In their final moments, perhaps you were their last thought. Perhaps they sent up a prayer to God. They cried out and set out to take their own life, giving their last breath to end all of their strife. Finances, family, material items, and Satan's children can get you down. I live in this myself and understand it so well. I have lived with depression for most of my life, and anxiety too doesn't help me to sleep any better at night. I have had a knife to my wrist. Suicide, I have contemplated this. I am haunted and taunted, burdened, and beaten down by my past and by my inner demons. And I swear I've always felt my life would end in suicide. A knife to the wrist, slowly bleeding out, would end my life. And as with every breath on this earth, in my last moments I would suffer, because that is who I am. I am not as strong as so many others. I am a sensitive person. I am backwards sometimes. I cry and am emotional. I can see through others' lies. I cannot stand a lot of my family. To see them makes me ill. I am hanging on to the hopes of being cured by a pill, but I don't honestly believe that this will save me, because over the years I have been through so many. I was mentally and physically abused as a child, picked on in school and made to feel like an outsider. I feel like a nothing when around those who share in my blood. So many people stare at me, and my social anxiety calls my bluff. For I thought for a moment I could be normal like you, but once again it has been proven that this is not true, and I ask you not to pity me or mourn for my hurts. Let me know you genuinely care for me and are there for me. Now, that would be what counts. And if many others would speak up and admit they hurt too, we could lean on one another like we were all meant to. But it's not about gossip. Keep what is said between us. That is what the trouble is here in these walls and in the outside world. People gossip too much, and they set out to be number one. And in the process, if you find you are stepping on someone, but if you have to hurt, and in the process you find you are stepping on someone, but if you have to hurt someone for your personal gain, then it was always completely pointless in the end. I have given my words and part of my testimony in the hopes that someone would try to understand me. Please don't judge me, for that is not your job to do. And before I close, I have a few more admissions to make to you. I am a Christian, but am human too. I swear sometimes like a sailor, and listen to various kinds of music too. I own rated R movies, and no, there is no porn. I have told lies and have wished upon harm upon others. I do not love my neighbor. They are children of Satan. I put myself down because I find it hard not to. I take pictures of myself on my good days because these are very few. My mind can be so corrupt and so very explicit, and in the end I am only human, and I find it hard to accept this. And if no one can love me completely for me, I would rather live alone in the middle of nowhere and turn to my King, for the Lord won't forsake me. He said this in His word. So if all others turn their backs on me, I know He will forever be my Lord. And I am thankful and grateful to have found Him here, since before I turned 17 I have been a Christian. But again, I am not perfect, and yet He still loves me as He loves all of you, no matter what is happening, and that is the truth. To close, I would just like to point one last thing out. Those who have committed suicide are not cowards or such. It takes one so weak and yet so strong to lay it all down. This is never a simple option, so please don't drag someone's memory through the mud and around. Don't make it sound as if they were never tough enough. We all fight the good fight, but some of us struggle, and I can tell you from experience that life is one bumpy roller coaster ride after another. But if my life is ever cut short, don't make me out to be something I'm not. For like so many, I have stepped up and sought help, but sometimes it just never works in our favor. The pain and hurt trump all, and we bid adieu to all of you too soon and go home to meet our Maker. So on this day, leave with eyes wide open and hearts ready to love. You never know who is suffering, so be gentle and give out only warm and positive thoughts. To the stranger on the street, the new person you meet, the one sitting next to you in the pew, and especially, don't forget to try and love you. I wrote this back on the 13th of August of this year, and this actually was supposed to be read in church, and I probably shouldn't air this out, but this was supposed to be read in church, but I was told that I was not allowed to read it because it was basically too heavy, or however you want to say it, to be shared in front of the congregation, and it would be better shared with a small group. But I'm sorry, I'm sharing this with the world. I am sharing this with my Facebook friends as they have seen it in black and white, but I am sharing it now as a thing where they can look and see me as I'm reading it. I am sharing this with YouTube. I want to get the word out there, and I just want to say that there is help out there. I will put below this video the number for the Suicide Prevention Hotline. If you need help, do not hesitate. If you need help, talk to me, come to me. I will put down my place where you can reach me on Facebook, and I encourage, I understand, for me, it's good to talk to somebody. For me, I find, though, that I connect better talking to, like, close friends and stuff, people I trust, rather than, going to a therapist or somebody that specializes in this stuff. That just doesn't work for me. I've been there, done that, on other accounts, other things that were going on, so that just doesn't work for me. But I encourage it, no matter how you do it, get help, please. Pick up a phone, get on a computer, do whatever you have to do, step outside and take in a deep breath and everything, pick up your Bible, put on some music, watch a movie, do whatever it takes and everything, play with your dog and everything, just whatever it takes to get yourself in there, and go for a walk, just to get yourself into a place where you can get the moment to pass, because that's usually where it hits me, when there's some days I really struggle, I don't want to get up, I don't want to do anything. And I've really been struggling for a long time, but there's times where, it'll really hit me. I want to commit suicide. I want it all to end. I'm down on my knees. I'm crying. I'm praying. It's a real struggle and everything. And like I said in this poem, I have had a knife to my wrist before. I have threatened on more than one occasion to commit suicide, and I've been so close. And, it's so hard but it passes, and it will pass. And if you find that it doesn't pass, if it gets to the point where you just can't let it go, seek help and everything. Find a church that will help you, a preacher that will actually listen to you, and get rid of all the people in your life who judge you, whether it be a good friend, a family member, whoever it is. Whatever it is that is bringing you down, making you in the situation that you're in, you need to get out of that situation. You need to get rid of those people. They don't matter if they have to act that way towards you. I have family members that have said that this is all in my head, and with my depression and my anxiety, and that you need to do what is right for you, because in the end, we are all walking. Obviously, if you believe it and everything, and you are a Christian and everything, the Lord, you're walking with the Lord. But, and way to look at it as a human is that we're all walking alone. We all die and everything alone. Even if you're with a group of people, you're still that person. You're still, for me and everything, I'm still Tiffany and everything, dying. I'm still a person. No matter who I'm with and everything, I'm still a person. And you need to do what is right for you, because in the end, it affects your health. It affects your life. And if it's something that is really too much for you, you have to find a way to let it go and to separate yourself from that. And I urge everybody to please seek help. Please. Robin Williams was such a wonderful person. He was so funny. He was so inspirational. He could go, from one character to another. He could be funny. He could be serious and everything. He could be sympathetic and everything. He could be just so many things in one. But in the end, he could not save himself from his demons. The good news in this, even though he did commit suicide, is the fact that he was sober when he did it. That's a good thing. And I think maybe in a way for some people, maybe it would make it easier if he would have said, well, it's like if his wife would have said, well, he was drunk or he was stoned or something, it would have made it easier, because you'd be like, well, he wasn't in his right mind. But we know that he was sober, and he obviously, it was stated that he found out that he had, you can tell I do these things raw and basically wing it. Now I can't even remember the name of it, but that he found out he had something wrong with him, and this was his way, of, he just couldn't handle it, and that happens. I've heard of people that found out they had cancer and they killed themselves because they knew, or like if they knew they had cancer that could not be cured and everything, that they could not go into remission, they've killed themselves because they figured that was going to be the end result anyway. I do not encourage that. Robin could have got help. I know I've seen where Michael J. Fox, now knowing that he has this too, he is speaking out. And I haven't actually heard anything he said, but I know that he's speaking and everything, and I just wish that Robin would have turned to him. And it's just, I think it's so hard when you see somebody going through something and you find out you have it, and you think, oh my God, I'm going to be just like them, or am I going to be worse, when sometimes it factors into whether you're a male or a female, how old you are and everything. The risk's a little bit more severe and everything. You stand a better chance maybe of getting over something if you're younger. Of course, this isn't like that. This is different. Parkinson's disease, pardon me. That's what it is. But he made that choice. And it's hard to understand knowing that he was sober and he is going into it with a clear mind and that. But when you already struggle with depression, there's different different points in that, and it's like you hit on these different things where it's like a sensor thing, and sometimes people, all they have to do to trigger different things is just to say certain words, to look at you a certain way. It's like even like with my social anxiety, if I have to be really like near to somebody that's a stranger, it sets it off a little bit more than it would be if we were clear across the room from one another and everything, in separate corners, whatever. So I mean, it's just different triggers and different things, and evidently this triggered something in him, and he wasn't able to deal with it. He wasn't able to reach out for help, or he felt that he wasn't able to reach out, and this is the way that he handled it. But like I said, I just, through my story, just wanted to kind of share just part of my testimony and say that there is help. And to let you know that I'm human too. And I think that that's the problem. So many people are going around, people, hi, how are you? I'm fine, I'm good, I'm great. When you're really not. Instead of just saying, I'm hurting, or I'm having a bad day, or something's not right, we're lying to one another. And that's not going to get us anywhere. If you keep hiding behind a facade, so to speak, you're never going to actually be free, because you can't be yourself, and you're always going to be playing a role as somebody else. You're never going to actually be who you are. So I'm trying to be more real, whether it winds up being my downfall or not. It's something that I need to do. I'm going to be 31 in October, and so I mean, if I don't start owning who I am, it's just going to get worse. And this is how I feel I need to own it, is by sharing this. I felt moved as soon as I wrote this, and I wrote this in the morning. I don't think I was even officially out of bed. I mean, I was up and everything, but I don't think I was officially, like dressed or anything. I was still in my pajamas, and this came to me, and I just, I wrote and I wrote and I wrote and I wrote, and as you see, it's a couple pages, and I mean, this isn't even a 14 font, which I usually go in. I think this is an 11, just so it would be, so I wouldn't have, the extra pages that would have printed at a full font like I use. And this is going to go in my next poetry book that I'm working on right now. But it's just the fact, that this is what poured out of me, and I felt immediately as soon as I was done, you have to share this, you have to share this. And I don't know if that was God telling me I have to do that, or what it was, but I just had this drawing feeling like, you have to share this. So I shared it, and like I said, I'll leave that phone number below, and I'll leave my contact information below, through Facebook and everything, since we're onto this new messenger that you have to have on your mobile, and you have to have it, and evidently and everything, you're going to get something cut off or disconnected or something. But I'm always available, and I just want to say God bless you guys. I love you guys, and for anybody concerned, knowing that I'm not going to church anymore over things that have come up and everything, I am going to read my Bible here later, and I'm going to listen to Christian music probably at some point in time today, and I'm just going to live my life the way that God intended me to, and this does not hinder my relationship with Him at all. And I just thank you guys for being there, and I love you, and God bless. Enjoy your day. Mwah.